Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new episode of JoDee Jeans Kitchen, where my guest star is Robert Iupa, and he is going to cook something for us very special today. So, Robert, tell us a little bit about how we met.
Well, let's see. Ippy's Restaurant, probably, let me go back a little bit. I was working at Willow Creek Golf Club. I started there in 2001, and it was probably late 2009, 2010. JoDee played golf at Willow Creek, and I was running the pro shop, and I met her at that time.
Right, and then we decided to start doing the golf tournament.
Yeah, I think the first golf tournament, and I was still at Willow Creek, was in 2012, and it was their first tournament. It was an amazing event, and our relationship developed further after that.
That's when we became buddies.
Yes, very
And then
close.
we traded recipes. And then I just let him do what he wanted for the golf tournament. So, we're definitely I'm putting him in your hands today. And you're going to show something amazing. You're going to cook something amazing.
Well, I don't know how amazing it is. JoDee called me about 2 weeks ago and indicated that I might be a guest on her show, which I wasn't even aware that she had a show. And I thought I was going to have to go to Martinsville for this show. And then I find out I'm coming to her house, and what a gorgeous house it is.
Thank you.
A beautiful kitchen with a great center bar here where a lot of work can be done. A great place for entertainment. So I was talking to JoDee, and I had just fixed a dish for my bride of 37 years, my second wife, Susan. And I fixed the dish, and I started talking about the dish. And of course, JoDee, she just said, perfect. So here we are.
Here we are. And what we usually do to start off the golf tournament is we always toast. And we toast to Ippy. And since we are celebrating our 100th year in the business, Ippy's Restaurant, since 1919 on Franklin Road, I think we should toast this to 100 years.
Yeah,
Ippy's,
Ippy.
100 years.
And
family.
And great fathers. And great
And new family.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Usually I make a cocktail, but we're going to do it like my dad used to do it.
Yes. And
But we're not doing it with scotch because that stuff kills me.
this has been a signature of the Ippy's tournament since 2013. We start with a toast, and Tommy, her brother, and JoDee, the owners of Ippy's, and myself, we have a toast and talk about the day and what we want for everybody going forward.
Right. All right, well, show us what you're going to do, Robert.
Okay, this is a bone-in chicken breast. And the reason I use a bone-in chicken breast, first of all, when you buy these in the grocery store, like Kroger's or Food Lion, they're normally heat sealed, which is like a saran wrap. And you know it's a fresh product because it is heat sealed versus cryovac. And so I chose that. I just feel I like working with very fresh items, no matter what it is. And in this case today, it's chicken. So I'm going to bone it out.
Okay.
So I started the boning process, and we're going to finish it.
So when you say you started the boning process, have you pulled out anything yet?
I haven't pulled anything out.
Okay.
But I'm going to take this off.
Sorry.
That's all right.
So it just comes with the ribs?
Yes, this is basically, and again, I used to be in the wholesale meat business, but I haven't done this in years, so I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm still pretty good at it.
Well, I mean, the folks at home aren't professionals either, so you're showing them,
Right.
What to do.
Right.
And let me ask you a question, Robert. If you couldn't find one with the bone in, just say, can you use one that has already been deboned, or is there a
Yes.
certain reason?
No, you can.
Okay.
And the only reason I like the bone in is because we know it's fresh. A boneless, as you know, in the grocery store, sometimes it will be fresh, sometimes it'll be frozen, then defrosted and put in the rack. So,
okay.
All right, so I like using, and I took the top skin off, you can see that. And I got the bones. Now, if you really want to do something special, you can make your stock with these bones.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You can use that for something.
JoDee, why don't you talk about that for a second, about making a stock?
Okay. So when you're making a stock, you can save up your pork bones or your beef bones or your chicken bones, and then you just basically, when we say making a stock, you're going to boil them down at a very, very low temperature, and you're going to extract all the flavors out of the meat and the bone marrow, and it just makes for a really good stock. And then you strain it off a couple times, and then you can add whatever poultry bag to it if you would like, and then you use that to you either make a gravy with or a sauce. As instead of buying one of these boxes, you have the, you know, like the real natural deal.
Right.
If you have time. I mean, and you can freeze that also. You can make a big pot and just save them all, and then some people freeze them in ice cubes.
Right.
And it really works out well.
Okay, so that's that. And unfortunately, but this is good, when I was deboning it, I pulled the tenderloin off. So you got a tenderloin here. We're not going to use that. We're going to save that. But what I'm going to show you is how to triple butterfly. And I'm going to wash my hands real quick.
And when you say triple butterfly,
I'm going to show them exactly what I mean.
Great, because I'm not really familiar with that.
Okay, so here's the knife I choose right here. I'm going to start here, and you got to be very careful when you do this. You just got to feel the knife under your hand. Okay, so there's one butterfly.
Oh,
see how
okay.
beautiful that is?
That's gorgeous.
Okay, and then I'm going to take the other side. And again, you just feel it with your hand. You got to be very careful. Now, your Tommy's son, John.
Yeah.
He's great with a boning knife.
Oh,
And
he is.
John would have no problem doing this. Now, you see how nice and thick that is? Or
That's beautiful.
What it's spread?
Yeah, you did that perfectly.
Okay, so now we're going to take a piece of parchment paper.
On the slick side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, whatever side you want to do.
Gotcha.
Okay, and we'll put this on the side, this tenderloin. We'll save that for something.
Okay, here, I'll take it for him.
Take it, okay. And I have a heavy mallet. And again, if you have a small mallet at home, then that would work. A heavy mallet, and basically, and the reason I got the parchment paper here is because as you start pounding it, you're going to have fragments of the chicken or juice that would come out, but with the parchment paper, you're not going to have any mess.
And if you don't have parchment paper, you can also use saran wrap.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
It's just the parchment paper does a much better job for you.
It does.
And very inexpensive at the dollar stores, $1 for a nice roll.
Well, sometimes, like a lot of the people that watch the show, I talk to you in the restaurant, especially since I've been hostessing lately. And I do want to say, on a side note, thank you for watching. I can't believe the number of people who have been watching, but I do appreciate it. And thank you for all the questions you've been asking me, and I'll try to address some of them today on the show while we're cooking. Different things like timing and just like that, putting in the fact that you can use saran wrap and, you know, stuff like that, kind of winging it, because if you don't have what you need in the kitchen, you can always substitute with something.
And
It doesn't have to be,
and improvise.
yeah.
It's a very good point, because a lot of times you're watching shows like this and you don't want to go out and break yourself getting all this stuff. So you use what you have and improvise, and normally it'll work well for you.
Definitely, yeah. I try to make everything cost effective for the family. So you can save money and go out to eat more and still have healthy meals at home and at Ippy's.
Right.
All right, so you pounded it out.
We got to pound it out.
Okay.
I'm going to take this off, and we'll get rid of this.
I'm a really good sous chef if you need anything.
Okay. Now, you notice we're working with chicken, and everything I do, I'm handling, it's going to be just with the chicken. I'm not touching anything else. So even though I might have a little chicken on my hands, juice, anything like that, this is going to be cooked as one piece. So it's not necessary to wash your hands after every movement as I'm doing this. Now, when we get to some other movements, we'll talk about sanitation and how you should handle your equipment and so on and so forth.
That's great.
Okay.
You can always tell when two people are on the cooking show and they've been through the health class and they know all the rules, and you want to pass them on to everybody, because you don't want, you know, people cooking things that aren't at the right temperature and stuff like that, because you really have to be strict about it, especially when you're working with chicken.
Yeah, it's very important at home. A lot of people feel at home, I don't have to be so conscious of sanitation, but you do. And
Yes.
especially today, with everything going on in the food industry,
Oh, yeah.
if you take the proper precautions, you're not going to have any problem. If
Yeah.
you're careless, then
You're going to have problems.
you're gonna
Don't
have
use a
problem.
hand towel.
Right.
Paper towels are your friend.
Right.
Lysol wipes are your friend. Unless you have a Clorox solution like we use at the restaurant, you're not. You need to use a paper towel. Definitely. We're good.
You good?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
All right. Now I'm going to talk about stuffing this. And today we're going to use an old-fashioned dressing. And I've got the dressing already prepared, and I'll let JoDee weigh in on this. This is how I do my old-fashioned dressing. You can buy the croutons at the store, or you can take leftover bread, like at Ippy's. If I was running Ippy's and I had a lot of leftover bread and I had a lot of dishes that use stuffing, I would take the leftover rolls, so on and so forth. I would put them in an open box, that way, and they get stale. But
let's clarify.
Okay.
Not the rolls that have ever made it to the table.
Okay, so
Yeah.
right, not rolls that have been bitten into. But let's say a rolls go out, 6 rolls go out to a party of 6.
Right.
And 2 or 3 come back have not been touched.
No, we don't use those. We
You
throw
don't
those
use them.
away.
Okay, well,
They get rolled up. Yeah.
what I did in Rochester when I was Signature Restaurant, and it was, we did a lot of covers. And we had a lot of dishes that used stuffing. We would use leftover rolls. Of course,
Yeah.
this was in the 70s.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do that now.
You're not allowed to do that now. But my point is that let's say you bought some Italian bread or any kind of bread from any store. You could cut it into croutons, stick it in the oven, get a nice golden brown like you get the Pepperidge Farm
Right.
or anything like that. And you could make your own dressing from scratch, which this is.
So tell us a little bit about what you have in there.
What is in here basically is very simple. Celery, onion, and this is old-fashioned, and seasonings.
So that's how we make, my mother and my grandmother and all of them made it.
My wife, Susan, who you know very well, loves old-fashioned dressing. She doesn't like it when her husband, Robert, puts in sausage, puts in mushrooms, she likes old-fashioned. So I made this for her, this dish for her, and that's the reason I'm making it this way today.
So, and we are going to include the recipes on the website, on YouTube, for the old-fashioned dressing.
Right.
And then you can make it and
As
do what you
far
want
as
to it.
seasoning goes, typically I use thyme, and I use a lot of coarse ground pepper. I don't use any salt at all. Thyme, coarse ground pepper, because also in this you're going to have a chicken stock, to soften the bread. And it has a lot of sodium in it, and that's why I don't add any salt myself.
Okay, so you don't use for that you don't use the low sodium chicken stock, you use the full.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. And also on this dressing, I use something a little different. This is from Carly. It's imported from Italy. I use a lot of imported stuff for my cooking, and it contains organic rosemary, bay leaf, and thyme. And that's what's in this dressing, and it just came out beautiful. So again, you can use just thyme from your home, or if you happen to have some organic stuff or you want to combine seasoning, you can enhance it a little bit by using these 3 seasonings.
Okay.
And that's up to you. It's up to your personal taste. So that's the reason I brought these, just to show you.
And so just remember, everybody that's on the keto plan like myself, this is you need to splurge every once in a while. I didn't do that at the beginning, but you need to get yourself out of ketosis and then back in to pump it up if you've been on it for a while.
Okay, the nice thing about this dish, when you see the finished product, which you're going to see soon, we're going to cut medallions, okay? And they're going to be little round rings like $50 like this. So it'll be chicken, okay, then you're going to have a starch with the dressing, and then you can add a nice vegetable, okay? So I'm going to stuff this now, and I'll show you how easy this is.
Ooh, that much? That's a lot.
Watch. Okay, so all we're going to do is roll this, and roll it tight, and roll it tight, and roll it tight. We don't have to tie this like a butcher would tie something with string, and you see the one when we show them the one coming out. So basically, this is all done.
So the double butterfly helps to make it wider.
Triple butterfly.
Triple butterfly, my bad.
Yeah.
So it helps to make it wider.
In the
so
Olympics,
you just roll it
like
up.
the triple dive and triple this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And so if you wanted to adapt this to our keto thing, you could use the no-carb bread and make it into a dressing and then maybe throw some cheese in there. I like that. I like that a lot.
You could enhance this any way you want. You start with a basic, and whatever your family likes, you could put into it because it's. And as far as the chicken goes, chicken is very neutral.
Right.
So we're going to get into the sauces later on, but chicken, if you want to make a sauce, we can use a white wine, we can use a red wine. Today we're going to use a red wine.
Okay.
So it's very neutral, not like beef, not like seafood.
Okay.
Okay, for a very versatile piece of meat. That's what I love about chicken, and cost-wise, it is a little less expensive than the other meats. So.
All right. So we're going to go to break and clean this up a little bit, and then we're going to make the sauce.
Okay.
We're going to make the sauce for it and pull it out and show you how it all is going to come together and be delicious. So we'll talk to you in just a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robbie, manager at Quick Lube. I want to take a second and talk about your car. We've all been caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. You don't have time to spend hours at a shop for a simple oil change and tire rotation. Here at Quick Lube, we change your oil, not your schedule. We operate on a first come, first served basis, so no appointment necessary. We also repair those squeaky brakes, put you some tires on, and do an alignment all in one shop.
Serving you with 2 locations, 700 Liberty Street in Martinsville and 6518 Greensboro Road in Ridgeway.
So we're good.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Robbie, manager at Quick Lube. I want to take a
Well, here
God
we
bless.
go.
Are you looking for great food and entertainment? Ippy's Restaurant is the place to be. We have been serving local communities since 1919. With made-from-scratch entrees and specialty dishes like our famous Oyster Rockefeller, smoked prime rib, and hand-carved filet mignon, we have a great selection of menu items that are all made to order for your everyday dining or special occasions. We also offer private rooms, catering services, and have a wonderful assortment of local bands that play in the lounge. Ippy's Restaurant and Lounge, 1760 North Main Street, Rocky Mount.
JoDee's Kitchen is brought to you in part by the Harvester Performance Center. World-class entertainment year-round. Harvester Performance Center, downtown Rocky Mount. Visit harvester-music.com.
Hello everybody and welcome back. Robert Iupa and I are going to finish his chicken dish that he makes for his lovely wife, and he's going to show you how to make the sauce right now.
Okay, we were talking about chicken and how versatile chicken is, and JoDee earlier was talking about a very simple gravy with chicken stock. You could do that. You also can use a wine sauce, and you could use a white wine or a red wine. In other words, if you wanted to do a wine similar to a sauce similar to you use for veal French, you could do it over this chicken. Or if you wanted to do a sauce using a Merlot, which I'm going to use today, a very dry, again, it complements the chicken and the stuffing we're going to be using. So this piece of meat that we're using today, this chicken breast, is very neutral. And you can do pretty much anything you want with it and have a great result. And we're going to show you that today.
All right, well, show us how to do it.
Okay, I'm going to start with some olive oil. This is not extra virgin olive oil. This is olive oil. In place of butter, I'm going to start with this.
And that pan is very hot. So
Yeah,
be
we're
careful.
going to watch it and see what it does. Okay?
Yeah, smoking hot.
Yeah, so
Induction is hot.
So we'll turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to just take it off and let it just cool a little bit. Do we have a fan in here?
No, yeah, we do, but we don't need it.
You sure?
Yeah, it's loud.
This is a very expensive saute pan. The pans that you would use at home, you wouldn't get this kind of result, but it conducts the heat very well. And again, we're using an induction oven, so
Yeah.
okay. So we'll leave that off for a minute.
All right. So
Okay.
what are we going to put next?
Okay, we're going to start with some garlic. On this sauce, I'm using some garlic. Okay. And I'm just going to swish this around a little bit. You see how I'm swishing? Okay.
And you can chop the garlic smaller or larger. Is that
Right.
what you said before?
Right. And in a lot of cases, the smaller the chop, the more the flavor. I rough chop this, and then just a little smaller than a rough chop. And now you see how it's turned brown. It's broke already. Okay? So we don't want to cook it any more than that. So now I'm going to add some beef stock. If you could open some beef stock.
Not
And
really.
you could use a knife if you
Yeah.
have to. Okay, I'm going to order just some beef stock. We don't have to do the chicken stock.
No?
No.
Okay.
Okay? Again, this is hot. So I'm holding it off the flame a little bit. Okay, now it's going to settle down. And now once your liquid is in there, you don't
Turn it
have...
back on. You want me to turn it back on?
Yeah, turn it on. Just turn it medium. Is it on medium?
Yeah.
I'm not used to this oven. Okay. Once you have your liquid in there, your garlic's not going to cook anymore. Okay?
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, it won't cook anymore. So it won't get burnt
Right.
as long as you don't have it on high.
Gotcha.
So we're going to add some seasoning. I got some parsley here. And again, you can chop your own parsley. I'm using a parsley from the store, which is fine. It's a dry parsley. It works fine in the sauce. Okay? But you can turn that up a little bit. And then we're going to do some, on this sauce, I like to use a coarse ground pepper. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of that in. If I can see it, I can see it coming out. Okay?
And so as it's cooking, you want this to reduce by how much?
Well, we're going to reduce because we're going to put the wine in.
Okay.
Once we put the wine in, what we're going to do now, we're going to lace this. And what lace means, we're going to go around the circumference of the pan. This is a Merlot. And again, you can use a very inexpensive red or white when you're sauteing. And hopefully this won't come out too quick. I've never used this. Okay, so I'm lacing it. Now this is going to reduce, and we want to we'll put it up a little higher. And we want this to cook for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And we can talk a little bit.
Okay.
All right?
I'll keep an eye on this.
Okay, now also I'm going to add something. And the two most important ingredients in cooking, in my opinion, and when you're making sauces, are lemon and butter. And we're going to finish the sauce with the butter.
Step over to the right just a tad.
Okay?
And I'll let you get out of the fray of the
Is that
smoke.
good?
Yeah, no, I meant this way.
This way. Okay,
They can't
gotcha.
see you well.
Okay. I'm going to squeeze some lemon. I'm holding my hands to get the pits like this. Okay? And I'll use this right here.
So you put the lemon in before it reduces. You're going to use the whole lemon.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And we'll let this reduce.
All right.
Okay. Now, let's say you wanted to add, I was going to have mushrooms in this sauce today. And I didn't have time to get to where I needed to go to get mushrooms for you. But I would put those mushrooms in right when I put in the stock and let the mushrooms cook down before I added the wine. So the mushrooms would be like you serve at Ippy's, beautiful
Hey.
mushrooms, okay?
Well, thank you.
So you can add a lot of things. Okay, we're gonna let this and this is not gonna be a thick sauce. So
And you could also cream this sauce if you wanted to at the end, right?
you could, but I'm not going to. Okay, so we're gonna let this just reduce for a while, and then we'll take this over and cut it.
Okay. Yes. I'll
Okay.
bring it over to you.
Okay, I'll get over here.
Now we let this sit for about 10 minutes.
Right.
So it can tighten up, right?
Right, and anytime you're cutting meat, it's best not to cut it right out of the oven. It's best to let it set. And
Especially roasts
anything.
and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, definitely.
Yes.
Like
And-
a lot of times you're going to eat a steak, you're not going to wait 10 minutes when it hits the table before you cut into it.
Right.
But a roast, chicken or anything like that, you need to wait 10 minutes.
All right, so I'm going to sharpen this knife. It's always good to have a great steel in your kitchen. You can have the small ones. This happens to be a commercial steel. Just going to sharpen a little bit. And then originally we talked about having medallions. Okay, I'm going to cut these maybe like a 1/2 inch, not even a 1/2 inch. You can see how beautiful that's cutting.
So we have we're ready to add the butter in now?
I will in a
2
second.
minutes.
I will in a second. And I'm not going to cut the whole thing. I'm going to cut enough for JoDee to taste this. Actually, I cut more than that, but okay.
We're both tasting this,
And
right?
you can see
Yep.
if you can.
You can finish the sauce and I'll put this on the plate for you.
Okay, I would say maybe 2 or 3 pieces, like 3 pieces would be
Gotcha.
nice.
All right. I'll make them look pretty.
Okay. And I'm coming right around you.
There we go.
Okay, I'm going to put
Oh,
my
this-
butter in.
It smells delicious. I mean, delicious.
So the butter, a lot of times you can start with butter for your sauce. I use the olive oil. It's healthier. But when you make a sauce, it's always good to finish it with butter. And again, this is in Julia Childs, who was one of the best,
Yes.
if not the best, French cook. She made sauces, and the secret was the use of butter.
All right, well, while you're waiting for the butter to melt, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
And being my sous chef, hopefully, on the next show that we have.
Well, it depends on what you entice me with.
Yes, for sure. But let's spoon this over here.
Okay, we're going to spoon it out.
I'll let you do
I'll
the
get that.
magic
Okay.
right there.
Now, what you can do when you make a sauce, and especially if you have company or members of your family maybe don't want it drenched in sauce, we drape the product, and basically you're just going like this.
And it looks great.
Try to get it like that, and then if they want more sauce, you can have it reserved on the table, and they can try it.
Well, I'm going to try it and let you know what it tastes like. It's really good. I know why your wife loves it.
Do you know why she loves me?
I know why she loves you, yes. But, Robert, I want to thank you so much. I know
Okay.
you know what it tastes like.
Well, I haven't tasted this sauce.
Oh, well, I mean...
Let me try a little, see how it came out.
Not every sauce is the same.
No, they're not.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Robert, for coming on the show. And we look forward to working with you again in the future. And hopefully you'll make more appearances.
I hope so. That'd be
right.
nice. I'd be very proud to come.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Out better than any of our competitors. Why sell your jewelry at a yard sale? Instead of practically giving it away, why not make the extra cash? Eden Jewelry, 802 Commonwealth Boulevard, Martinsville, Virginia, 276-634-0222.
Cataracts can have a way of slowing you down. It's not always apparent right away, but at some point, you realize life doesn't appear as it should. Be sure you catch all of life's moments. Let the physicians at Vistar Eye Center improve your outlook with cataract surgery. Now seeing patients at our new location on Church Street in Martinsville. Trust Vistar Eye Center, where your sight is our vision.
JoDee's Kitchen is brought to you in part by the Harvester Performance Center. World-class entertainment year-round. Harvester Performance Center, downtown Rocky Mount. Visit harvester-music.com.